Okay, what we're looking at here is a wheat field by my house. And I've decided to do a voiceover because it was so windy that you're not going to be able to hear what I'm saying. But it's a huge wheat field. In the middle of the wheat field, you're looking at now a knoll. Many of our fields in Israel have areas that cannot be taken care of with farm equipment. And I do not know why that they leave them stand, other than every time you put a shovel in the earth in Israel, you turn over a civilization or something, some old building, some artifact. And so they just work around these knolls. And I went out there today to check for emmer. I had been out there before in this field, but the field is massive. And I thought I had checked this knoll that I can see from the road as I drive by. But I realized today on the way to the grocery store that this was not the location I had checked in this field. This location, see the fence, has a fence. And as I was driving and I saw the fence, I realized I had not checked this exact location. So this field is just huge, by the way. It's just massive. I said to myself, if I can get my work done before Shabbat and everything for Shavuot, then I'll see if I have time. I'll run over here and I'll see if I can locate this area. So I did. I jumped in the car really quick and ran over here, hoping to find emmer. What I didn't consider finding was I was going to find domestic wheat that had been left to its own devices. Brian Convery, when we were together this spring, taught me that when you see these knolls in the field and they're left like this, I see, you're looking at right now, you're looking at broken barley, you're looking at oats, there's thistles in there, that's another sticker bush there. I'm looking at busted wheat right there. There's everything up there on that knoll. It's not been messed with by the farmer. That field that I'm looking at right there was beautiful and pristine. It was all wheat. And when you have these knolls like this and they can't get to them, then it just grows unmolested. Whatever it produces, it produces. This section right here around the knoll is about 15 feet deep out of the cultivated area. And there's plenty of room. And see how short that is? That's not getting any fertilizer. That's just come up and is taking care of itself with the rain and whatever is in the dirt that God has provided it. That is caramel wheat right there, far enough away from that field. And with that field having been cut for animal feed, those heads, if you find them in the field, any few that have dropped, they're completely empty. This is not been bothered at all this year. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm just checking these heads of domestic wheat that have grown up here by themselves, and I'm checking them to see how many there are. I'm checking them to see what the condition is, and look at that. They're perfectly perfectly caramel, perfectly ready for Shavuot. And I found a lot of it up there. It wasn't what I was looking for, but you know, there's no plan B with God. He has a plan A, and plan A this year was for Friday before Shavuot. I would make a last-ditch effort for emmer and find the wheat right outside my door, literally, that he had been holding for us to find for Shavuot this year. And we're going to check some more here. Let's see what I've got. You can see that that's not like something you find in a field that's been fertilized and well taken care of. He's kind of puny and bent over there, so he's been left to grow on his own. Let's see what's in this one. Sometimes if you'll watch, you'll see the kernels falling out between my fingers before I can even flip them into my hand, because they're so ready. We're just at the point that they're so ready. And if you look past my hand, you can see my little ant workers down there harvesting in the field. See, there's some in my fingers. I pulled out of that head. I'll stay with you here a little bit more. We'll go around the corner here in a second, and we'll look at the other side. There had been lots of goats up in here. The goats, see how wide that easement, I'll call it, is between what they cultivated and what's been left to itself. There had been lots of goats up in the field. The Bedouins are just behind me a little ways, and when they've cut the wheat, then they let the goats in the field to eat the stubble. And so I was real tickled. In fact, they had been bedding around the trees against this fenced area. They had been bedding, all this flat stuff is where they've been bedding. I was just tickled that we had any wheat left at all to look at. It's been a long time since I used the camera. Yes, my finger's in the way. I apologize, but you know, time was of the essence, and at least I've got something to report and bring to you that we did find wheat. If the Abib is right, the wheat will be right. The Abib was right, and we found wheat that's been raising itself, and the timing on it is right. And we're going to look at a piece of wheat right here. There we go. We'll check it. It was just so ready, and 4 or 5 more days this wouldn't be here. That's how ready it is. I mean, it's just, the head is just paper dry, and the awns are brittle. See, there's the grain right there. It's caramel. The awns are brittle, and you touch it and it just releases, and it's just ready. And we have confirmation of wheat that has grown to maturity and harmony with the season of Israel, being ready for harvest right here 2 days before Shavuot. And that's what I wanted to bring you. Thanks for watching.